Guys, it's Nick Gamer03 back with another Madden Mobile 20 video. And trying a different recording app today because it's really choppy, my old one. So I'm trying a different one. Hopefully it will be better. And today's video is all about what to invest in, what players to invest in, how to invest, what even is investing. In the end of Madden Mobile 20 and in Madden Mobile 21, the same thing is going to work. So, investing is like buying the cards when their promo is out. So Staley is a good example. Career tributes are always investable players because they were only out for a couple days, so they're rarer cards. So like Staley, he was going for about the vertical was about 1.5 the day it came out, and a couple weeks later it's worth over 3 mil. You just have to be patient, and then you can make a lot more coins. The career tribute is one example. But yeah, I have a whole list of stuff here of like my just big investments. So head to heads, I would every time I noticed that these always would go up because head to heads come out. I don't know what day they come out, but every 2 weeks you get a new set of head to head masters. And this doesn't work with onyxes, only the diamonds. But I noticed that every week, like the day these came out, they would be worth a lot less than, let's just say the 99s, for example. They would be worth, I don't know, let's say 600k the day they came out, and then, like, the next day, or then a couple days later, like, maybe a week later, like, halfway between the next release, they'll be worth 800, 900k. They're always worth more. That's not the best example, but it's kind of the same thing. And the same thing with flashbacks. Back when they still did these, flashbacks they came out on Friday, Flashback Fridays, and they would always be worth, like, I don't know, let's say 200k the day they came out for some of these. Let's just say this RG3 went for 200k on Friday. And they came out every week. So, like, Thursday, like the next week, Wednesday, Thursday, they'll be worth 300k. But then the next week comes out and you get a whole new bunch of players and they're worth 200k again. They're always worth more. Like right before the new ones came out. And I already said career tribute, but these were always super expensive, especially Staley. He went for like 1.5 to 2 mil the day he came out, and then a couple weeks later, he's worth 3 mil. Now he's down to floor, so yeah, but he was worth a lot. I remember Yonda as well was worth about 2 mil the day he came out, same as Staley. And then a couple weeks later, he's worth 3. I don't know. It's really big difference. Another thing this year was the honors promo. These cards, not now, but not the onyxes, obviously, but especially Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson was worth millions, like 5 mil. He was worth so much the day. Because honors was a one-day thing this year, so it was even rarer than usual. He's worth 5 mil. I mean, like 3 mil the day he comes out, 5 mil later. It was a big difference with honors this year. So you just have to be patient. Another thing was the Father's Day players. Now, not a lot of people had these. That's not a Father's Day player, but you get the point. Now, these were worth, I'd say, about 2 mil, 2.5 maybe, the day they came out, and then they went up to 3 mil for a little bit. They were at one point, they were at about 3 million. Now they're about down to 2.5 again, but they could still rise up again. And then alter egos. Including Lamar Jackson, I guess, but I was more thinking Ben and Tyran. So, Ben Roethlisberger was he's not the best example, but Tyran went for about 2.5 about a week in, but he was going for 5 mil, like when they first came out. About a week in, he's about 2.5. He dropped down to 2 at some point. But I haven't seen one of the auction house below 3 million in a couple days, so I think he's up about 2.75, 3 mil now. He's pretty expensive. And Lamar Jackson, He was going for about 1.5 the day he came out. Both of these, they're both 2 mil plus now. That's a bid snipe. That's a bid snipe. That's a bid snipe. Snipe. Anything under like 1.6 is a bid snipe for these, I'd say. Now some specific positions. Anything special teams, but I'm talking about those later. Wide receivers, like fast wide receivers. So one example of this is Tyreek Hill. 99, all decade, that's not, no, I need programs. This is Tyreek Hill. All decade moments, maybe this is postseason. This Tyreek Hill goes for like 900K. Most expensive of the bunch here. He was going for about the same as everything when these came out, like 700K. They were all going for about 700K. Hill was actually a little bit less because everyone knew he was expensive, but so many people got him that he actually dropped to be less expensive. But now he's kind of a rare card now, and look, there's only one under $1,025,000, so he's very expensive still. Another thing is fast quarterbacks, and the most recognized one I noticed this year was Pro Bowl Lamar. There might not be any up, but there are some up. So this card, when it came out, was about 500, 600K. A couple weeks later, it's worth over $1 million. I remember this. I would go to snipe. This was a sniping card for me at some point because a lot of people undersold him at like 800K, and I would always sell these for 900K plus. It was but the day they came out, it was like 500, 600K for these. The first couple days of the Pro Bowl promo, because everyone wanted him, and like the more people wanted him more than any other card, so more people got him. So his price dropped lower than the other ones, even though he's worth more. And eventually, now he's only 100K, but he went for over $1 million a couple days into the Pro Bowl. A couple weeks after the Pro Bowl promo. So that was another thing. So fast quarterbacks, fast receiver, and special teams, especially punt returners, and not like these Evo ones that you can keep getting, but like the ones that expired. So if I just put in here 90 special teams. See what we got. All right, Dustin Colquitt. First example. Dustin Colquitt was about 100K when the Super Bowl promo was going on. He was about 100K. A week, 2 weeks later, it was a pretty fast investment. He was going for 200K plus because special teams are like the biggest price risers. If you want to invest in players, get limited special teams players. Now, Zerline and Cobb don't really count because the mover sets are still there. But the Super Bowl sets are gone. They've been gone for months. So he was a limited card. You can only get him a limited time. So he was going for 100K. A couple weeks later, 200K plus. And now, Deshaun Jackson doesn't count because flashback sets are still there. But Cordarrelle Patterson is another one. Another Pro Bowl player, too. He was about... I remember he was pretty expensive. He was about 300K, because this was before Super Bowl. He was about 300K when Super Bowl came out. A couple days later, he's like 600K. Like, after the promo ends. Like, these cards get really expensive. Especially, these special teams cards. Pharaoh Cooper, this was my best investment of the year. During Tomorrow's Superstars, because Tomorrow's Superstars was a field pass, so I had a lot of time to gather these cards. And I got about 40 cards under 100K, like between 50 and 100K, most likely. I got these at. And then about 2 weeks after Tomorrow's Superstars ended, I had sold all 40 for like over 150K. And now he's still pretty expensive. He's going for 100K plus still. But after Tomorrow's Superstars, I sold about 40 of these for a 66% profit. And I made millions off that investment. Because if you make 50K 800K, but it was more. Because I didn't get these for an average of 100K. I got them for like an average of 60K. And sold them for like 150. So that's like, let's just say that's 75K times 40. is a lot. Let me actually see. 75,000 times 40 is let's say 3 million. So I made about 2 to 3 million coins off investing in Pharaoh Coopers. Even though he's only worth 150k, I had so many of these. This was my best investment of the year. Now another thing was Path to Greatness Cribs. There's none up here, but Path to Greatness was a promo a while ago. When he came out, he was about 500k. A couple weeks later, he's worth $1 million. Like he was a big investment. If anyone did that. Another one is Draft Jakeem Grant. Now he's kind of a rare card. I don't know if there's any up. What am I doing? Grant. Okay, there is one up. So, yeah, as you can see, he's about 250, 300k right now. But he went for like 700k after draft ended. But during draft, he was about this price, about 300, 400k. After draft ended, kick returners, he went up, Jakeem Grant, to about 600, 700k. He has since dropped, but that's another 200k plus right there. I'm looking at my little list of stuff over here. So, another thing is Pro Bowl Will Lutz. He was at one point that was back when sniping was like the best. This card was that was like when I made the 91 overall filters. That was the best sniping all year. Was around this promo. And Will Lutz was one of the best drops you can have. He went for 800k in the weeks after Pro Bowl, I remember. During Pro Bowl, he was about 500, 600 probably. You could buy him for that. But then the weeks after Pro Bowl, I remember he went for like 800, 900k. He was some of the best drops you can have. I remember sniping this guy for 400k, making 400k. It was a really good sniping card. And he was a high investment. He went 200k plus after Pro Bowl ended. Now Easter Vaughn. I'm actually gonna talk about Onyxes later. I already talked about Hill. I'm gonna talk about Cohen later. Talk about Patterson. All decade moments. Dion Lewis. Okay, here we go. He's another player, another kick returner. Okay, there's none up right now, but he has a 97 overall kick returner card. Kick returner. 97 overall kick returner card that really is, I don't know if Andre Roberts. I'll talk about Onyx's in a second. But he had, I think it was this promo, All Decade Postseason. He was going like the usual. Like they were going for about 350k at that point. But there was a week after All Decade Postseason ended, he was going for 600k. He was really expensive for about a week. That was another one. Now, versus Joe... okay. Punt returners are something else. They are on a different level from these three. Because, especially these three this year, had NFL 100 cards, and this one didn't, so punt returners were even rarer than usual, and JoJo Natson was one example of this. Look at this, 800k. I saw one get bid on yesterday for 600k. Day before, I saw one get bid on for 700k. This JoJo Natson is really expensive. He was... this was a recent promo. The cards right now, the 95 130s are going for about 250, 300k. JoJo Natson times 3. He goes for 750k now. 600, 750, 800, something around that range. He could still go up in price because it's not like... I don't think he will anymore because it's a 95. It's not like people are going to have him on his team compared to the higher overall punt returners. But he still went up 500k. Like, he was the same as every other Versus player, about 300k at that point. And now he is... Look, there's only one up for 835. I saw some get bid on for 600k plus yesterday. It's really something. So, I am going to briefly talk about Easter Vaughn. So, Vaughn, during the Easter promo, was about 3 million coins. You could buy him during the promo for about 3 mil. But in about the weeks after the promo, he was at some point going for over 4 million. I saw one, the highest sale of Vaughn I saw this year was it was a bid at 415. I sold one for 4,050,000 once, but I saw a bid once at 415 for this Vaughn. That's $1 million profit. Well, it's not a million. It's like 600K profit, but it was a rise of 1,000,000 coins in the weeks after Easter. And this one I think was expensive just because he was really good, not coverage-wise, but he had 95 speed, 99 block shed, 99 pursuit. He was a really good card. He had good card art. He was a rare card. Not a lot of people had him. So I think that's why he rose, kind of like the career tributes. They were really rare. But back to the punt returners. If you search up right now, 90 overall punt returners, this is what you get. Alright, so you got almost nothing. A lot have dropped recently, actually. That's definitely a bid snipe here. I sold a Richie James today for 800K. The regular 4th of July players are about 600K. 4th of July just ended, and he's already risen 200K already in about 3-4 days. A week at max, he has already risen 200K. Cobb and Jackson. Dante Hall doesn't really count either. That's 100% a bid snipe. He goes for like 750K right now. But he still has sets. But especially JoJo, especially Richie James, and especially Tariq Cohen. Tariq Cohen was the best investment opportunity of the year. I'm not just saying that because, so there's no Cohens up right now, but 100 punt returners, there's nothing. Tariq Cohen is the only Onyx punt returner in the game, so everyone wants him for a team. So he is very expensive. He is the most expensive card right now, I think. When he came out, he was all decade moments. So 2 months ago, he was floor price. He was literally floor price. When he was out, you could bid on him for like 1.2 million. He was floor. But since then, I remember some people in the official Discord had like 10 Cohens, and they were putting him up for like 1.5 for like a month, and they weren't selling. I saw people eventually sell them for 1.4, but then like a week after that, I started seeing all these Cohens getting bid on for 2 million, and I have not seen one in my auction house in the last week with the buy now at under 3 million. He has gone from 1.5 million, 1.4 million to 3+ million in the last 2 weeks. He went up he went up like 2 million coins since this promo came out. Because he is the only Onyx punt returner in the game. I have him on my team right now. He's oh my god, he's so expensive. These special teams cards are this is the only auctionable one that, these are floor price. This isn't auctionable, but this Cohen right here sells for 3 mil. I could put one of these players in right now, go sell that Cohen for 3 mil plus. I'm not going to because he's an Onyx punt returner. Everyone wants him for his team. So it's just, yeah. Investing, I am going to try and do this more in Madden Mobile 21, but in Madden Mobile 20, I think investments right now, what you should do is Richie James, and Cordarrelle Patterson. That was another one that I didn't talk about yet. But 100 kick returners. Yeah, this Cordarrelle Patterson, 4th of July, I think he's going to go for 2.5 mil plus by the end of the year. I have one right now that I'm actually trying to sell for 2 mil. I sold one for 1.75 after 3 days of reposting. I have one here for 2 mil, be reposting for about 2 days. I think it will sell eventually, but this Cordarrelle, I think, is one of your best bets with investments. Here's another one already bid on for 1.776. Andre Roberts, I'm not sure. More people are going to have Patterson because he has higher power, so more people want him for his team. But feel free to do Roberts as well. I think he will go up too. I think Patterson is one of your best bets right now. Patterson and Richie James, because he's also new. He has not reached his full thing yet. 4th of July. This Richie James right here. I mean, look, the lowest one is a mil. I'm gonna bid on these for 745 and 723. I'm gonna keep reposting them at a mil. See if they can sell. Punt returners are so expensive. This is honestly a sniping filter for me right now. 90 plus punt returners. As ridiculous as it sounds. Look at this. This one has a bid at 109K. I bought one today for like 75, just because I need these for my snipe away. But like this one, a 90 punt returner with a bid at 109, and there's still 45 minutes left. Like, that's crazy. Punt returners are just the most expensive things. Any diamond punt returner, punter, any diamond limited time special teams player this year probably was investable. I mean, JoJo definitely was. Richie James is already up 200K in a couple days. These don't count because their sets are still there. But, I mean, the Tyreek Hill also for, I don't even know what promo that was. What promo? Road to the Draft? Is that what it was? It was this one. Yeah, Road to the Draft. Road to the Draft Tyreek Hill. He was also a limited card. He was about the same as every other card, and those were about 400K, 450, 400K at that time of Road to the Draft. Tyreek Hill now sells for $1 million. I've seen things on Discord in the last couple days, even today. I saw Dr. Payne sell one for $1 million flat. Like, he and the other Road to the Draft's like 300, 350K. That's like 600K plus. More expensive than the other cards of his kind. So, yeah. Little short coin making method video is the Randall Cobbs. Sometimes movers events pop up on the Madden Today map. And these sets are still here. So I've actually been doing this Randall Cobbs set a lot. I've just been buying Texans and Cowboys players. I've done it 9 times already. And you get luggage from the events. Because you put about 25K in buying elite players. You get the things for free. And as you just saw, one had a bid at 109. They sell 100K plus. It's like 80K profit at least. So I've been doing that a lot. Now that that's out there, his price might drop a little bit, but it's still bound to be 50K plus profit. So that's just a little coin making method if you want to do that. I'd say your best investments right now are Richie James and Cordell Patterson. Another thing with Cohen, last thing. Cohen, I would not be surprised if he is worth $5 million by the end of the year. I'm not even kidding. Cards always go up the last week of the year when everyone's trying to finish up their teams. So I think Onyxes are going to get easier to sell. I think Elites are going to get easier to sell. I just think everything is going to get easier to sell. You might sell your Onyxes that you've been reposting for months. These are the 3 I have been. I went from 11 to 3. But I think those are going to sell because everything always goes up. Cohen, I would not be surprised if he is worth $5 million by the end of the year. I'm not even kidding. So if you want to take that chance, go ahead buy any Cohens under $4 million. Because he's the only Onyx punt returner in the game. Every player that is over 100 overall is going to want him for his team. Every single one of them. I'd say most of them already do have it, but if you don't, and you have $5 million coins to spend, and he's the only diamond on your team is Tariq Cohen. I mean, not Tariq Cohen, the 98 Tyreek Hill or the 98 Ultimate Legend one punt returner. They're going to buy Tariq Cohen for $5 million, as much as it takes. So if you want to, I mean, it sounds crazy investing in Tariq Cohen's at 3 million coins, but I honestly think it could work. So this is kind of a long video. I hope you followed it. Yeah, 90 plus punt returners. Honestly, a good sniping filter, good investing filter, whatever. Especially with these Richie James. I'd say these Richie James are going to be worth $1 million by the end of the year. I sold one at 800K after probably a little over a day of reposting. Yeah. So yeah, that's the video. Hope you guys enjoyed that. I think it's gonna work in Madden 21 too. I'm gonna try and invest more. The only investment that I really did this year was I did one Patterson. I have another one. That was just a snipe. But I did do one Patterson. And the biggest one for me was the Pharaoh Coopers. Yeah, that's the video. Like, subscribe if you're new, and goodbye, guys.